very exciting and inspiring to be here. This is truly a celebration. Thank you very much on behalf of every person who has ever been touched by Alzheimer's disease, not only for your financial contribution, which is very much appreciated, but also for your intellectual contribution. I'm an Alzheimer's caregiver and advocate, and I'd like to share with you part of our personal story tonight so you'll understand why we are so appreciative of all the work you are doing, and to illustrate the urgency in finding a way to effectively treat, prevent, and cure Alzheimer's disease. My husband Ken has younger onset Alzheimer's disease. He was just 59 years old when our journey began. My 89-year-old mother lives with us. 4 years ago, she was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. As you know, people with MCI have an increased risk of developing Alzheimer's or related dementia. And that's exactly what happened to our mother. She'll turn 90 in December, and that's quite a milestone. However, she struggles with everyday tasks, paranoia, agitation, and of course, memory loss. My husband, he grew up in North Attleboro, one of 5 children in a blue-collar family, his dad only having completed 3rd grade. Ken was a bright kid, and as he was about to graduate from high school, his superintendent suggested he apply for a scholarship at Tufts University. Ken graduated from Tufts as a math physics major and as president of the student body. He received a scholarship to Yale University, where he completed his master's degree in engineering. He went on to teach math at Bentley College while attending Boston College Law School. Ken opened his own law practice where he specialized in trial work, including product liability and technical cases, as well as representing physicians in medical malpractice cases. He was a bright guy, a family man, with a successful career and hobbies ranging from ski racing to fishing, gardening, woodworking, and more. All of that was cut short for Ken 11 years ago by Alzheimer's. After working hard his entire life, Ken never enjoyed one single day of his premature retirement without Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is an epidemic, and yet our path to diagnosis, as is the case for so many, was not easy. After many visits to our local doctors, we made our way to Mass General and Dr. Mark Alvis. Ken, like his grandfather, mother, 7 aunts and uncles, and 2 older brothers before him, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. With Ken's family history through Dr. Albers, Ken, together with his sister and his surviving brother, was admitted into the Massachusetts Alzheimer's Disease Research Center longitudinal cohort study here at Mass General, of which Dr. Brad Hyman is the director. We are hopeful that through this study, our family will make a difference. In the beginning of our journey, it was very painful to look at Ken and know he was a prisoner in his brain. He was aware of what was happening. He knew his cognition was declining and would continue to do so. He knew what was to come. How scary that must be. And there was no way for him to escape his thoughts. He was held captive. Through the middle stage of the disease process, it was heartbreaking to be a helpless bystander as this accomplished and independent man lost his ability to work, engage in the way he always had with family and friends, drive and participate in all of the hobbies he loved so very much. He lost his independence. And then there was the sinking feeling as we stood by and watched him struggle to comprehend why he could no longer independently do so many of the things he loved. And there wasn't a single thing we could do to stop the march of Alzheimer's or assuage the emotional pain he was enduring. Ken is now in late stage, and we're very fortunate as he has great care and a lot of love surrounding him. We are grateful every single day that he is happy in his new world. But I wonder what the Ken of 11 years or more ago would think of his life today, now that he can no longer take care of himself in any way. It's really heartbreaking to contemplate. Ken and my mother's bodies and spirits are here with us, but their minds have been altered, and the precious gift that was their memory is gone. It's a slow, agonizing loss, very, very difficult and scary for them to cope with, and extremely painful for us to watch. Our youngest child was just 13 years old when Alzheimer's changed our lives and our family forever. Life is ever changing in ways we could never have imagined in Alzheimer's world. Alzheimer's, as you know, is a disease of behavior, and with each change in behavior, people with the disease and caregivers alike stand on shifting sand. The ground beneath our feet is never solid, it's always moving. With each cruel loss, we face a new normal we couldn't have prepared ourselves for, and we start the never-ending process of reinventing the wheel, as so many before us have done, to figure out how to cope with and manage the new change, the new loss, the new life. And just when we think we have our new normal figured out, we experience another change and begin the process anew. Regular, everyday people like me aren't equipped to handle the complexities and the many moving parts of this disease. And for many of us, resources are slim, and so we navigate alone through the wild, wild west that is Alzheimer's disease today. My husband and I were the love of each other's lives, best friends and great partners. That life is now gone, and we live in this altered and painful state. What was once a shared marriage and partnership is now one-sided. I'm responsible for everything in our lives, and all that we used to share has somehow vanished. And after nearly 11 years with Alzheimer's, it's sometimes difficult to remember who that Ken was and what our life together was like, and frankly, that it ever even existed. And then is the anticipatory grief that caregivers and families experience on a daily basis. Our loved ones are physically here with us and in need of assistance and care from us every day, and we need to be present in the moment with them, but we're constantly grieving their losses, our losses, each and every one of them. We are grieving the loss of a person who's still here with us, yet we can't embrace the true grief, the final loss. Alzheimer's impacts every aspect of a person's mind and body. It's relentless, and it takes caregivers and families along on its harrowing journey. It's devastating mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, socially, and financially. It leaves no stone unturned. The cost of caring for a person with Alzheimer's is staggering and can leave families financially devastated. And the impact to caregivers' mental and physical health is equally devastating. Every family's story is uniquely their own. We all, unfortunately, have parallels. I know our story is compelling, but I also know that every other family's story is just as compelling and devastating as ours. And while I would never wish this journey on anyone, I've come to realize that with acceptance of our situation, which took a great deal of time and is still a work in progress, I now know it's a gift to honor and an honor to care for my husband and my mother. When I'm with each one of them, in the moment, in their world, where they live, we enter a place of profound connection and beauty. So I can't do what all of you here in this room can do, but what I can do is to share our story, to help shift the culture and climate around Alzheimer's, and to hopefully inspire you to continue to do what you do. You are making a huge difference. So I give you a truly heartfelt thank you from my husband, my mother, our family, and every person who has ever been or will be touched by Alzheimer's disease, to each and every person who is involved in this collaborative effort to effectively treat, prevent, and cure Alzheimer's disease. You are the very people who are going to crack the Alzheimer's code so that not another person will need to take the journey that my husband and our family has taken. So I thank you very, very much from the bottom of our hearts.